ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So in the history of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. He was in saffron. But he took sannyas in Shankara line, that is Advaita line. And after that, after him, everyone else who were there, they were all Babajis. They would not wear saffron clothes. They would wear white clothes. And white also just covering the lower part of the body and sometimes covering the upper part of the body also. They are the Babajis. So you see, the 6 Goswamis who were direct disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were Babajis. And after them, everyone else who came, they all took Babaji initiation. And what do these Babajis do? These Babajis are always immersed practicing Krishna consciousness. I shouldn't say practicing. Always immersed relishing Krishna consciousness. 24/7 chanting Hare Krishna. 24/7 meditating on the Lord. Always immersed in Krishna consciousness. There is nothing else which they have in their minds. So during the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there were 3 Babajis who were all famous in our entire Sampradaya. The first Babaji was Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Siddha Purush. He would chant, he would make the trees also chant. Then we had Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's guru. He was Sakshat Vairagya Murti. His renunciation was next level. And then, during their time, we had another personality called Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj. Very less is known about Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj. But by the mercy of His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, we have a book which describes the life sketch of Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj. Now, many of the time that happens since we come in this organization where preaching is the priority. So it happens that when we go to Vrindavan or some other holy place and we see some sadhus sitting and chanting, then we have our own ways of thinking and preaching to them also. We struggle to chant those 16 rounds, the chanting entire day, we have some problem with that also. This was one of the IYF yatras of some other temple. So they were in Vrindavan. And this IYF boy who has spent 1 or 2 years in Krishna consciousness, who has heard that preaching is the essence. Prabhupada wants preaching. All of us should preach. So he went to a Babaji who was sitting and chanting under a tree. He went and he was saying, Babaji, ab chup kyun baithe ho? Hare Krishna bolo, Hare Krishna bolo. Chant Hare Krishna. And Babaji looked at him. And he said, मन ने तो राधा रानी बचावेगी, तो अपने देख लियो. They are completely dependent. They are completely dependent on their lordships, their relishing Krishna consciousness. Therefore, we have to understand one thing, that there are always 2 categories of pure Vaishnavas existing in the entire planet. We have Goshtyanandis and we have Bhajananandis. So Goshtyanandis go around and preach. And Bhajananandis stay at one place and chant the holy names. Now, we cannot say that this person is greater than this person, or this category of devotee is greater than this category of devotee. No. Both of them, they have their roles to play. So now if someone says, oh, but Bhajananandis are sitting and chanting, what is the benefit for the entire world? And the answer is, Darshane pavitra karo, e tumhara gun. Just by taking their darshan, the person will get purified. Therefore, we shouldn't be immature in our understanding of different categories of devotees. And these Babajis do still exist. In our ISKCON also we had a Aindra Das Babaji Maharaj. He would dress like Babaji. So he would be called as Babaji also sometimes. So talking about Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj. So in Bangladesh, there is a district called Kishoreganj. They lived a very nice couple. The husband's name was Sanatan Malla Brahma. So he was a very poor fisherman. So when I say fisherman, obviously his profession is fishing. And his wife, Srimati Sarvasundari. So she was like any other ordinary Hindu lady who would do various fasts, some vrata for the family, for the well-being of the family. So she was into that. And they had 3 sons and 4 daughters. The eldest son, he was born in 1859 and his name was Bhairav Chandra. So Bhairav, so in Bengali it's Bhairav Chandra. And Bhairav Chandra had 2 younger brothers, Kula Chandra and Raja Chandra. So this Bhairav Chandra, in future, he will become Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj. Now when it comes to the life of these personalities in this entire family, was really very critical. Extreme poverty. And they would struggle for their day-to-day food. The day-to-day goes on through whatever fish they will catch. Life was rough. Not much of luxuries. Much kya, kuch nahi. And there's no question of education. The only thing that Bhairav Chandra was supposed to do was go with father and learn how to do fishing. That was the only thing that he had. So entire day he would spend with his father and with other fishermen, whoever was there. But in the evening time, he would go to a nearby village, Jamalpur. And he'll go to that place and there he would specifically go to a temple called Gaur Nitai Temple. And he would spend his evening there. And whenever we go to temple, surely there will be some pure soul who will glance on us. Surely some pure soul will talk to us. And there, he got to hear another Vaishnav Guru in the line of Narottam Das Thakur. And his name was Narottam Das Babaji Maharaj. In the life and line of Narottam Das Thakur. So Narottam Das Babaji Maharaj, he would speak various different topics. The futility of this material world, the glories of chanting Hare Krishna, pastimes of Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he would speak and Bhairav Chandra would be sitting in the class and would be hearing. So like this, he was hearing all these pastimes and along with that, he was also hearing Narottam Das Thakur's bhajans from Prarthana, a book called Prarthana. And since Narottam Das Thakur's bhajans are very simple, so he would keep singing that. So morning, go with father and other fishermen and do fishing or learn fishing. And evening, go to Gaur Nitai Temple and hear from Narottam Das Babaji Maharaj, sing Narottam Das Thakur's bhajans and hear the glories of the Lord's name, form, qualities and pastimes. So this was his routine. Now it is so nice to note that this is the time that we're discussing about was a time of various pseudo devotees. There were so many upper sampradayas at that time. We're talking about Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time, so you can imagine. But this personality, this Bhairav Chandra, was never attracted to these personalities. Never. He was always taking shelter of his guru's lotus feet. He was not attracted with all the fancy philosophies of these pseudo-gurus. It's so nice to note that when it comes to us as sadhakas, for us it's very difficult to understand whose shelter should I take, whom should I listen, what should I do. We are confused. हमारा confusion तो किनसे दीक्षा लेना है वो भी confusion होता है. He is also good, he is so cute, he is intelligent, he is scholar. From whom should I take initiation? But one thing is very clear, in all these great personalities, if we hear about them, they have full clarity of what to do. Full clarity. They don't struggle with small things. They don't struggle with all these confusions. Confusions are for people who are by birth confused like us, Varna Sankara. But when it comes to these personalities, they are Nitya Siddhas. So they have full clarity of what to do. Even when fancy philosophy is spoken here and there, here, Bhairav Chandra was not attracted. In ISKCON, little bit fancy philosophy we hear here and there, immediately we flow towards that. Doesn't matter who the person is, doesn't matter what he speaks, but अच्छा लग रहा है, कुछ अलग बोल रहा है, body soul के अलावा. Yes. Therefore, we have to understand one thing, sadhakas means we have to be very careful. For such people, they'll not get attracted. But we sadhakas will very easily get attracted. Very easily get attracted to anything nonsense of this world because we don't have that purity. Now gradually Bhairav Chandra, instead of spending evening, now he started spending nights in his guru's ashram. Now gradually at home, initially when only 2-3 hours in the evening he was going, parents were okay. But when he started spending whole night in the temple, parents were now alarmed. And they started thinking, ye to gaya abhi. He'll join. He'll join announced order. Better we get him married. So parents very tactfully, very nicely got him married. But with time, the renunciation level increased so much that he just left his wife also and he left the home. So parents sometimes, they shouldn't underestimate the renunciation of the boys. So he left and he went, took shelter of Narottam Das Babaji Maharaj. And on that day, on the day of initiation, Narottam Das Babaji Maharaj gave a very beautiful name to Bhairav Chandra as Vamsidas. Vamsidas Maharaj ki jai. And this was Babaji initiation. So it was Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Already his entire life was austere. Now he became even more austere. Before he would wear dhoti, torn dhoti. Sometimes he would wear gamcha, torn gamcha. And now everything went off. Only thing that remained was kopin. He used to always wear kopin. And he had only 2 sets of kopin. That was the thing that he would do. And he remained in Jamalpur, in his guru's ashram for a few days. He worshipped Radha and Krishna there. Then for 3 years he went to a place called Panchavati, not the other Panchavati of Ramayana. This Panchavati is in Majidpur, some place nearby to that place. And from there he went on for different pilgrim places. Different place he went. And this, one thing that we will see in all the great souls, they are very much attracted to the holy places, especially Dham, where Lord Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has performed pastimes. They are very much attracted to those places. And this personality, he went all around. And finally he came to Navadvip. And there he got his bhajan kutir in Koladvip. And he stayed there till the end. Only towards the end he went to this place again, Majidpur. He went there and he entered the eternal pastimes from that place. So in this way, Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj was very, very austere. Now Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes that Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj was 6 feet tall and strongly built without any gym. His hair and beard were uncut. It was all matted and always disheveled. He never took bath. Again, I forgot to mention, disclaimer. So don't try to imitate Babaji Maharaj. We will fall down wherever little. Anyways, we are fallen. Maybe we'll go underground. So we should make sure that we don't imitate. He never took bath, and his eyes were always wild. Whoever would look at him is always wild eyes. And he would wear just kopin and roam around. But still it is described that even when he was dirty, still he was very healthy and strong. And the reason that is given is the direct ecstatic contact with Krishna. This is the reason that is given. And it's a fact. I was just contemplating on this topic. Now it is possible that many people, I mean, when it comes to devotees, they might fall sick, their health might not be good, but their health cannot obstruct their bhajan. It cannot obstruct. And in ISKCON itself, we see so many devotees. Health goes down. Yes, health goes down, so many of them. Health goes down and their services don't stop. No impediment at all. In fact, it is described, Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, he would not eat for many, many days. Not even take water also. Wrong thing on Ekadashi. And whenever he would travel, even when he was 80, when he would walk, devotees were not able to catch up with his speed. Very strong personality. And when he would be unwell, purposely he'll take those footsteps which will aggravate his problem. It's very difficult to understand these Babajis. Even Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj, for that matter, he would soak kacha rice and he would get brinjal, eggplant. Now eggplant you cannot eat raw. It has to be cooked. Because the taste itself is very different. Now, Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj would soak the kacha rice, raw rice, and he'll eat that. And on the other side, eggplant. Try करके देखो कैसे लगता है. बहुत पैसा बचेगा इधर. So, and Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj, with time, he lost his eyesight. But still, he would not go to doctor. He would continue same sort of prasad. And he was happy. Similarly, Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, he would not eat for many, many days. He would not drink for many, many days, water also. And he would be okay. He was all healthy, he was all fine. And therefore, this point is very nice to note that when it comes to us as sadhakas, we cannot imitate all this. I don't think anyone will imitate this also. Not taking bath, people might. But this, no one can imitate. And even if we imitate, what will happen is our bhajan will get obstructed, our sadhana will get obstructed. Therefore, sadhaka should maintain their health very nicely. Because for us, material life influences spiritual life. We cannot say, no, I have come to a good platform, so I am on a good status of spiritual life, so nothing will affect. No, nothing like that. Our material status of existence will affect our spiritual existence also. Very, very important. But when it comes to these personalities, their bhajan would go on without any impediment. Without any impediment. Because they are on a different stage of Krishna consciousness. Not like us. And this Babaji Maharaj would go to beg. And when he would go to beg, he would not go to anyone and everyone's house. He would find out which house is pious. And only there he would go and beg in those houses. And whatever he would get, vegetables he would get to his place. Many of the time it would happen that many people would cook food and get. And he would tell, no, Gaur Nitai, they will not take this. They won't eat this, take it back. So he would never accept cooked food. Now just compare ourselves with him. Just imagine for a good amount of time we are just getting rice dal or something. And someone gets, and in the prasadam hall it is kept, puri, paneer and halwa and this and that. We'll not ask also what is the source. In his prasadam hall mein prasad hi rahega aur kya rahega. Let's eat. But he was very careful. He would say, no. Gaur Nitai would not eat this. Take it away. But even when his diet was like that, he was very healthy and very strong. Very strong. Now when it comes to his speaking, when he would speak, it would not be very clear. He would speak Bengali, but the accent was different. So people around would not be able to make out. But one thing that they would be able to make out was, he's speaking only about Krishna. This was very clear. With whatever he would speak only about Krishna. He had this special quality, in fact all the pure souls, they have this special quality of relating everything to Krishna. So say he would hear this word government, and he would hear that word and Govardhan Dhari, this is what you said, Govardhan Dhari. So in this way we see that these great souls, nothing is material for them. There's no sound that is material. They'll make sure that everything becomes spiritual, connected to Krishna. And many of the times he would spontaneously call out names of the Lord. Specifically he would call out Bhaktavatsala Hari. Bhakti Vikas Maharaj writes, Hari goes top and then it trails down. Bhaktavatsala Hari. Pranavallabha Hari. He would call out suddenly, spontaneously he would call out different names, and especially these two names. And sometimes, according to his desire, doesn't matter which verse is going on in Bhagavatam class, he would speak what he wants. So it doesn't matter who are the people around, he will speak what he wants. So he would glorify different leelas of the Lord. Sometimes Braja Mandal, he'll glorify, sometimes Navadvip Mandal. Sometimes he'll describe Krishna Leela, sometimes Gaur Leela. And sometimes he's describing some pastime of Krishna and suddenly he'll shift to Gaur Leela without ending that pastime, come back to that pastime and go to Braja Mandal or Navadvip Mandal, and like this the entire talk would be jumping from one to another based on the flow of his desire of thoughts towards the Lord. So wonderful. And he would always sing Narottam Das Thakur's bhajan. One bhajan he would sing every day. Every day he had this one bhajan which was his favorite. Netai pada kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala. Every day he would sing this. Every day without fail. At least once. And in that one line, he would repeat again and again and again. Nitaira Karuna Habe Braje Radha Krishna Pabe. Again and again he would repeat this. That by the mercy of Nityananda, I can attain Radha and Krishna. You will see, while singing bhajan, there will be some lines, which many great souls repeat, which they are able to connect with. And that is their internal prayer. So like that, Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj also would be doing that. And most of the time, he was on the transcendental platform. His activities, no one would be able to understand. In fact, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he would send his disciples to see Maharaj, he would tell that don't go and judge based on your crooked mind, materialistic mind. You'll not be able to understand his activities. He is on the transcendental plane. But it's very difficult. If we have a mentor like this, always on the transcendental plane. Sometimes he would come to the practical platform and he will discuss, okay, now we have to travel to Jagannath Puri or Vrindavan. So what to do, how are you planning, etc. Otherwise, always on the transcendental platform. And there was one of his servants, and he would call his servants in various ways. And one of the gali that he would give was Haram Zade, bastard, or a big pig. Now it's very difficult to understand Vaishnava like this. How is it possible? And another very nice thing about his speech was, he would never say I or mine. He would say, Vamshi was doing this. Vamsidas feels this. Vamsidas said this. This is how he would speak. He will never use the word I or mine. That's very nice. That Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they respected Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj like anything. They had a lot of awe and reverence for Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj. In 1903, Bhaktivinoda Thakur first time took Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur or Bimal Prasad to meet or take darshan of Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj. From that day onwards, Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj would call Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur as Jagannathera Bimal. This is Bimal Prasad, no? And Bimal Prasad is from the name Bimala Devi. And who's Bimala Devi? Jagannath's Bimala Devi. So Jagannathera Bimal. Many times when Saraswati Thakur would go to take darshan, mostly these devotees would go to take darshan because there is no question of talk. So they would go from far, they would pay obeisances and they would just take darshan and leave. So one day when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur came to take darshan of Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, and Babaji Maharaj looked at him, and at that time he said, "Oh, one Manjari has come. Very soon Srimati Radharani will also come. Radharani will also come." Another time, this was in the year 1914, just before Gaur Purnima, when Saraswati Thakur went to meet Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj. So at that time, when Saraswati Thakur entered, in fact, for a long time, for many days, it seems, Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj didn't speak to anyone. He was having the book, this Prarthana, and he was just singing bhajans, immersed in Narottam Das Thakur's bhajans. And when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur came on that day, so on that day he said, "Oh, look, Gaura's own associate has come. Please come, please come, please sit." He gave a nice sitting place and he continued doing his bhajan. When I was reading this, I was feeling so nice that our acharyas, they can see the truth as it is. For us, we will not understand. Yes, we will not understand who is who. It's very difficult. But these personalities, just by looking, they can make out who is who. And obviously, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he is a Manjari in the spiritual world. And here Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj is able to see and he is able to acknowledge the same. Therefore, as sadhakas, we cannot understand all this, so there is no question of judging. Sometimes it happens, no? That we judge. Maybe this Maharaj is pure devotee. Maybe realized. Manjari or Gopi, I don't know, but maybe one of them. Yeah. So we cannot do all that. We are all chutku jivas, struggling with our own identity. Sometimes I'm soul, sometimes thoroughly body. Yes. And most of the time, I'm just a servant of some company or some family or whatever. That is what is our current situation. So where is the question of identifying? I was asking this question to one senior devotee who had come here, a scholar. I asked him, that Prabhuji, how to make out that which personality or which sannyasi is perfected pure soul in ISKCON? He said, see, to make out that you have to be perfected pure first. How will you make out otherwise? Correct, no? How will you make out? So in this way, this point is very, very important to note that our parampara is not ordinary parampara. Extremely extraordinary. And those personalities who have by mistakenly got connected to this parampara, they are extremely fortunate. Because all these personalities, they have all the power to just pull us up, holding our shikha and throw us back to the spiritual world. These people have Krishna. Therefore we say, Krishna se tumar, Krishna dete par, tumara shakati ache. What is my identity? Amito bhikari. Yes, I don't have anything. Amito kangal, Krishna Krishna boli, dhai tave pache pache. Krishna Krishna boli, sote sote. Yeah, it happens. You're so tired at times doing sadhana. But one thing is there, they are our hopes. They are our hopes. Whenever we say Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, immediately comes his deities. Because Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj was very attached to his deities. He had 3 sets of deities. He had Gaur Nitai, and they were 3 feet tall. He had Radha Govinda deities. Those were 6-inch Ashtadhatu. So Gaur Nitai were Neem wood deities, and Radha Krishna were Ashtadhatu deities. And then he also had small Laddu Gopal. So these were the 3 deities, 3 sets of deities that he had. And when it comes to his worship, again, disclaimer, let's not do this with our deities. Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj was on a different platform altogether. Wherever he would go, he would carry Gopal in his right hand and just carry him around and go around to different places. With so much of father affection or paternal affection, he would treat his Gopal deity. And there was no formal system of worship. There was no proper routine, 4:30 Mangalarti and this and that, Bhoga timing, nothing. In fact, there was no proper routine. There was no Simhasan also. There was no temple where these deities were kept. No arrangement for deities at all. Deity worship means very strict. But then Babaji Maharaj, he had so much of spontaneous love. There was no question of any arrangement. He would never put the deities to rest. So there is no question of waking up the deities. And then when it comes to dressing the deities, there was no dressing as such. Some rags he would put around the deities. And after a huge interval of time, he would change into another rags. He didn't have proper clothes to put. And in winter, he had one small cloth which was dirty that he would put around Radha and Krishna. This was his deity worship that he would be doing. So in the entire day, one seva that he would do is very tall, 6 feet. He would go pluck flowers from the tree, and in the midday, he would offer those flowers to the Lord. Now the question might come, at least bhoga to lagate rahenge na? So sometimes he would offer bhoga. No ringing bell, no mantras and all that. He would cook and keep the plate in front of the deities. Eat. And other times, it is described, sometimes he would cook and sometimes he would not cook. Deity should be okay with it. Sometimes he would offer some fried chickpeas and sometimes khichdi. And sometimes nothing. So in this way, his dealings were all different. Then how is he so attached to the deities when he is not able to do various services? Because one service that he would do was constantly, continuously talk with the deities. He would not talk to people around. Hardly he'll speak to anyone around. But most of the time, he would keep speaking to his deities. Most of the time. Sometimes he would be laughing. Sometimes he'll be quarreling with the deities. He would talk and then pause to hear the reply. And then again talk. In this way, he would be talking to the deities. Sometimes he would ask, did you take your food? How was it today? And then he would wait for the reply. But never he revealed to anyone around that what was the reply of the deities. He never spoke about that. So he hardly spoke to anyone. All day he would just spend only with his deities, especially Gopal and Gaur Nitai. Sometimes he would be completely silent looking at them. And suddenly, spontaneously, he would cry the two names. Bhakta Vatsala Hari, Prana Vallabha Hari. So in this way, he would chant. There are few intimate devotees with whom he would talk sometimes. And say if he has to address to someone and reply to someone for any question that are asked, he would do that through the deities. So Gaur Nitai, tell them like this. Gopal, this is what they are asking. So you tell him like this. Now that person is there in front and he's talking to the deities. So in this way, whatever is asked, through the deities he'll answer. Many times, many people would come to take his darshan. They're all standing. Now imagine we are there in some place and people are looking at us. Naturally become very conscious. So many people are looking at us. But he was least bothered. He was absorbed talking to his deities. He's absorbed in his own mood. People are coming for darshan. He's not reciprocating, he's just leaving. And see, these souls, they can easily see through the people. So he was able to make out who has what intentions. So the ones who were very insincere and they would come to ask some question or whatever, he would answer through the deities in such a way that that person would immediately leave the place. And at other times, when some sincere souls would come to ask something, he would give a very, very satisfactory answer through the deities. He would say, Gaur Nitai, tell him like this. Gopal, tell him like this. So in this way, he would answer. And many of the times, it is said that even before the person speaks, he would ask Gaur Nitai, so what they are going to ask, please answer that. I'll tell them now itself. So many of the time, the question is only not asked, it's only in the mind, and here the answer is coming beforehand. So you can imagine what level these personalities are at. And at times, he would talk to his servant, Deena Bandhu Das Babaji, and he would tell, pointing at Gopal, get him out from here, get him out from here. At other times, he was cooking. And then he looked at the deities and he said, just wait, I'm still cooking. Now it's very difficult to make out suddenly why is he speaking. We can just maybe speculate that maybe deities are asking for food or deities are coming around and they're disturbing him. Like, just wait, I'm still cooking. And he was the only one there. Servants were outside. And the servants are saying this, that after some time, he looked at the deities angrily. He said, too much, you get out from here, you get out from here. Imagine the intimacy that he has with his deities. Many of the times, some people would get bananas, raw bananas. So he would hang on the roof And many rats would come and rats would eat that. So once, when he was sitting there, so he saw some rat, eating the banana. So at that time, he said, he's a thief. And then he pointed at Krishna and he said, he's also a thief. And at other times, his behavior would be so different, so unique. He would just put all the deities in the sack and take the sack with him, and no one knows where he has gone and when he'll come back. They would just go. So in this way, there was really amazing services that he was rendering all the time, talking with the deities. Whenever he would go out for taking bath or begging or whatever, so at that time he would keep his kutir open, wide open. And at that time, he had few possessions only, and that also would get stolen. And so devotees would say that, Babaji Maharaj, please lock the door and go. Please lock the door and go. So that time he would say, if, pointing to the deities, if owners doesn't watch over the house, then what Vamsidas can do? Or sometimes he would point at Gaurnita and he would say, if thief is at home, what is the point of putting lock? One day a cow entered the kutir and everything was topsy-turvy in the entire kutir. Even the deities were knocked off from wherever they were kept. So Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, he came and instead of being compassionate, he started shouting at the deities. What is going on here? Okay, you give away everything from the house to the local folks. Go, give. Anyways, Vamsidas is an outsider. Go give. In this way, he started shouting. So in this way, we see that Babaji Maharaj, whatever he did, if we think of imitating, I don't know what will happen with us. Already we commit so many offenses. But Gaurnita was life and soul of Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj. Life and soul. Anything good happens, he would give the credit to Gaurnita. Anything bad happens, he will shout at Gaurnita. Once it so happened that he was not there at home, his kutir. There were two brass pots, one small, one big. And with that he would cook for his Gaurnita deities. And when he came back, both were missing. Both were stolen basically. So he pointed at Gaurnita and he said, today you will not get any food. He didn't cook, he didn't feed. He said, if you want food tomorrow, make sure the vessels come back. So next day, some person came, he donated a small pot, small brass pot. So he looked at Gaurnita and he said, this pot belongs to Nitai. Today I'll cook only for Nitai. And literally he cooked only for Nitai and he offered it to Nitai and he looked at Gaura. If you want your food, you get your pot. So, one day when he was coming from some other place to his ashram, so suddenly he said, oh, Gaurnita are hungry. Gaurnita are feeling hungry. And then he was on the way, so he got some eggplant and then he went to his kutir. He cut the eggplant. He didn't cook. He put tulasi on it. He kept in the plate in front of Gaurnita. And with lot of love and devotion, he was singing the bhajan that is sung during the bhoga offering. The bhoga arti bhajan he was singing. And after that, he took the prasad, he went under a tree and he was relishing the prasad. Now the question comes, what is there to relish in Bengan, in brinjal or eggplant? What is there to relish? But here, one thing is very clear when we read about these personalities, that firstly, Lord reciprocates with them that I am hungry. And secondly, they are ready to immediately act on the order that is given by the Lord. It was winter time and every day Indra Prabhu would feed his deities. Indra Prabhu is Prabhupada's disciple. He would feed his deities fruits and vegetables raw. So one day, his Gaurnita, Nitai Sachisuta, they came in the dream. Like we have various desires, no? Today I want to eat this, I want to eat that. So Nitai Sachisuta came in the dream and they said that every day you're feeding like this, raw vegetables and raw fruits. Tomorrow we want hot chips with chili powder. And guess what? Prabhuji made that, for the deities. And some other pastime also happened after that. So in this way, the deities inspire the pure souls that what they want. And here we see that how when Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj offered the eggplant raw with tulsi leaf, he was in tears when he was singing the Bhoga Arati. His voice was choked, was quivering. This is the mood of these great personalities, always on the platform of prema. One day he was talking to his deities, and then he asked one of the devotee, because when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakuri left this world to enter the eternal pastime, so one of his disciple, his name was Ananta Vishwambhar Prabhu, he was a brahmachari, he took shelter of Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj for guidance and for various other things. So he was staying there. For a long time, Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj didn't accept him. And slowly and steadily he started accepting. And one fine day, he was in the inner circle of Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj. So when Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj was speaking to his deities, Gauranga and Nityananda, so then he started smiling and he asked this devotee, Ananta Vishwambhar Prabhu, so did you hear what Gauranga said? So Ananta Vishwambhar Prabhu is saying, I just heard what you said. I don't know what they said. What did they say? And at that time, Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj said that Gauranga is telling me that you don't go outside to beg. You have already become very old. I will feed you. You don't go. I will feed you. So at that time, looking at Gauranga with changing expressions, he said, this Gauranga, he wants to serve me. He told this loudly. He went out. He got a stick from outside. And he started showing the stick to Gauranga. And he said, you don't go outside for serving me. I don't want to accept. If you go outside, I'll break your leg. I'll break your leg. He would travel to different places like Puri and Vrindavan. So whenever he would travel, doesn't matter how is he traveling, he would carry his Gopal in the right hand and his one or two servants. They would wrap the other deities and they will put in the basket and they'll carry. And it is described that while traveling, doesn't matter it's bullock cart, boat or foot or whatever, all the time he would keep talking with the Gopal deity continuously. And wherever they would halt, they would put tent. For hours together, he'll remain inside the tent and keep speaking, with the deities. And he was happy doing that. He was just happy doing that. In this way, we see that Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, he was relishing all the time talking to his deities. Srila Prabhupada, in one of the lectures, he is saying that these deities are not just metal. If you consider them to be metal, they are metal. But if you serve them nicely, they'll speak to you like Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj deities were speaking to him. So wonderful. I was just wondering if our deities also start speaking to us, so nice it would be. I think they're already speaking. We are deaf. We are not able to hear. That's a fact. That's a fact. Prabhupada also, in one of the pastime, in a foreign country, he was standing in front of the altar. He just came from another place and then he's standing in front of the altar. And then the president, the temple president of that place, he came, he started giving a report. We are serving the deities like this, we are serving the deities like that. And Prabhupada said, I've already asked them, they've told me everything. Hare Krishna. This was Prabhupada's reply. In this way, directly you will go and stand. And many of the times, devotees have said that Prabhupada would be speaking something to the deities. He will be asking or telling something to the deities. These are these great personalities. Sometimes neophytes try to imitate. One devotee was telling me, I'm really angry with my deities, Prabhu. I didn't feed them yesterday. Oh, very nice. Why you are angry? No, because I asked for this sense object, he didn't give me. You see? So we are sense gratifiers and we want to imitate Paramhamsa. That's the problem. No, that's the problem with us. Therefore, these pastimes are not openly spoken. Now that much in ISKCON, that how these Babajis would worship their deities. Therefore, it's very, very important that we always understand where are we and where are they. And what is the level of prema that they have towards the lordships. So in this way, Babaji Maharaj would do his various pastimes with his deities. But Babaji Maharaj was so exalted. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had given that stamp, yes, he is an exalted soul. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had told that he is an exalted soul. So all the disciples of Saraswati Thakur knew that how exalted he is. Therefore, this devotee, this brahmachari, Ananta Vishwambar Prabhu, he had come, and it was a time when Babaji Maharaj had not accepted him. A probation period was going on at that time. So he and another wealthy man, they both would hide behind the bushes, and Babaji Maharaj is having his prasad. They would just wait Babaji Maharaj to finish the prasad. And the entire thought process is, now he would finish and then we'll get Maha. But Babaji Maharaj would clean the entire plate very nicely. He would not leave anything. So what these people would do is, they will not find anything in the plate. So Babaji Maharaj had washed his hands so that water is flowing down. So in that water they would search, is there any food particle? Is there any Maha? When they would not get any of it, the water that is flowing on the grass, on various different shrubs, and especially grass, they would take that grass and they would suck the grass, saying, oh, this is the water. This is the water which he had gargled. Oh, this is Maha. And they would accept like that. And this went on for a long time. And they would be hiding and doing this. But one day Babaji Maharaj caught them. But didn't say anything. He was okay. So I was just wondering, to make a show, we neophyte devotees would say, Prabhuji, dijiye na, Maha dijiye na. Gulab jamun hai isliye, Maha dijiye. Yes. Give me this, give me that. This Maha, that Maha. I got Prabhuji's Maha. Yes. This is all show off. Nothing else. Literally, if we really, that mood is there to accept the Maha of great souls, that this is the mood. Where the person, they are ready to go to some place where it is dirty, there also they are ready to take. There are devotees in Gaur Leela, there are devotees otherwise also, in the current age also, where to take Maha, they are ready to eat from dustbin also. Okay, the Prabhuji threw it here, so we'll take it. But no, we don't. We want from the plate, and that too, gulab jamun, halwa, vada. Rice ka Maha nahi chahiye, Prabhuji. And sometimes when sannyasis come, so they also very mercifully leave some remnants for us. In that also devotees want to just, Prabhuji, wo Maha dijiye. But look at, this is the mood of accepting Maha. Because it is described, Bhakta Pada Dhuli, Ara Bhakta Pada Jal, Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha, Tini Mahabal. These are three very, very strong, powerful ways of advancing in devotional service. Bhakta Pada Dhuli, the dust of the lotus feet of devotees. Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj was very strict. He was not allowing anyone to touch his feet. But one day, on the day of Gaur Purnima, he was extremely magnanimous. And that day, everyone was coming and touching his feet, getting the dust of his lotus feet on the head. Bhakta Padajal. So the water that has washed the feet of the devotee. So much is there in the bathroom, isn't it? Yes, but no, we want, aisa alag se, rose water se dhula hua. And if it is watermelon juice, that's best. Yes. So, something like that. And Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha, that is remnants from the plate of great souls. So in this way, these two personalities, they were just waiting behind the bushes. They would jump on the plate. Nothing is there in the plate. Okay, the water that is flowing in that, they will try to find. Nothing is there. Okay, the grass that is holding the water. Okay, I'll suck that to get the remnants of Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj. Many of the times, Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj would get, many people would come, they will give vegetables, fruits and all that. He would just take little whatever is needed for offering, and rest he would just keep it on one side. And every day a black cow would come and feast on the vegetables which is kept. So this devotee, Anant Vishwambhar, he was coming from Mayapur to Koladweep, or in that place only. So he had an eye on one of the papaya tree, and there was a papaya that was growing, the fruit that was green. And every day he would keep looking at that, and it was becoming ripe day by day. And when it was perfectly ripe, he took that and he gave it to Babaji Maharaj. And Babaji Maharaj took that papaya and then he kept with the other vegetables. And there came the cow, Mahaprasade Govinda. She came to eat. When she was eating, at that time Babaji Maharaj with lot of care, he removed that fruit, removed that papaya, because he knew how much love is invested in this particular fruit. Therefore, it is said that whatever endeavor we put, it need not be always explained to all the exalted souls. Many of the times they know very well. There are times when in ISKCON itself, some of the exalted soul is sitting in the room and devotees have paid obeisances outside, and then when they come inside again they pay obeisance. And at that time this particular devotee, this exalted soul is saying, you already paid obeisance outside, why are you paying inside again? The door was closed when he paid obeisances. So many such personalities are there in ISKCON also. So in this way, these great personalities, we need not go and describe everything that we have done. They know. How do they know? Paramatma connection. They know very well. Paramatma reveals everything to these great souls. When Paramatma reveals, they are able to hear very nicely because they are connected very tightly, with the Lord. Even for us, Paramatma speaks, but we cannot hear because we are contaminated. So as we get purified with time, we'll be able to hear the voice of Paramatma. And therefore it is described, pure devotees, they do only what the Lord is telling them to do. They'll not do anything apart from that. And therefore they're always sure, they're always confident that whatever they're doing is in accordance with the instruction of the Lord. So wonderful. So wonderful. We are always tricked by our mind saying, okay, this is Paramatma speaking. No, it's mind speaking for us, not Paramatma for sure. So one day, there was one person who came, and he would come very often. Babaji Maharaj, please give me mercy. Babaji Maharaj, please give me mercy. That day, Babaji Maharaj got a bit pissed off. He tore a part of copin and he then gave it to him. Take mercy. You wanted mercy? Take. And basically, Babaji Maharaj was saying, take, wear this and become a renunciant. This is how mercy of a great soul means what? Mercy of a great soul is, he blesses the person who has come to take blessings with attraction for Krishna's name, form, qualities and pastimes and detachment from this material world. That's the blessing of a great soul. Even Srila Prabhupada, he would be really pissed off with this word Ashirvad Dijiye. Ashirvad comes not just with the hand, with the words, the instructions. There was a young couple who came to Srila Prabhupada when he was there in the train. And they were asking, Swamiji Ashirvad Dijiye, Swamiji Ashirvad Dijiye. And Prabhupada looked at his sannyasi disciples pointing at them. He said, if I give you Ashirvad, you'll become like them. Are you okay with that? And that couple ran away from there. So this is the blessing. This is the blessing. Therefore, it's very important to note that the real blessing in Krishna consciousness that we can get from these great souls is the attachment what they have for the service of their lordships. A tinge of attachment we also get. That's the actual blessing. And the detachment level that they have from this material world, little bit if we get, that is actually real blessing. If every day we can continue our sadhana very nicely, that is actually real blessing. So blessing doesn't mean, now today I'll sleep and I'll get some dreams of Radha and Krishna or Gaurnita or Gopal or whatever. No. The blessing at our level for sadhakas is all this, that how consistently, uninterpretedly, with taste, we are able to render devotional service. Then we can say, yes, we have received blessings. During Holi, they would throw colors in Navadvip. They would celebrate because Gaur Purnima. And we heard the first Gaur Purnima, how they celebrated, Narottam Das Thakur and team. So they also played Holi. So in Pratha, so in Navadvip, they play Holi. So when the residents there, they went to see Babaji Maharaj and somehow they got to know that Babaji Maharaj has no objection with playing with these colors. So on that day, one particular holy day, so people came with colors and they started throwing at Babaji Maharaj. And it is described that Babaji Maharaj was covered with the colors after some time. He was just tolerating, he was just there. And since it was Gaur Purnima, he was just sitting in front of his deities, no water, no food. Just sitting in front of the deities, that's it. In his deep meditation. Oh, so wonderful. And these personalities are Trikaldarshi. This has to be very clear. So there were two very rich merchants. the Kundu brothers. So they had built a 2-story building just on the banks of Ganga. And they had given it to Babaji Maharaj. But Babaji Maharaj, due to his old age, he was not able to climb up, so he was using only the ground floor. His deities were there and all that. So one day he told one of the brother, if I'm not wrong, his name was Swarna Kundu. Swarna Kundu or Suvarna Kundu. So yeah, not Purna Kundu, not Swarna, Purna Kundu. So he told this Purna Kundu that tomorrow, early in the morning, Ganga is going to flood and this building will wash away. So better, we vacate this place. And since Siddhartha is saying this, so immediately they vacated the entire place. And next day morning, the Ganga flooded and the entire building was washed off. Look at these personalities, they can tell what next. There was a girl who was coming almost every day. She was 7 to 8 years old. She was getting a pot of water from Ganga. Every day she would do this service. She would get the water and keep it inside the kutir and leave. So one day it was a great storm that was there in the entire place. And on that day also she got the pot of water and she kept inside. But when she was leaving at that time, Babaji Maharaj said, don't go outside. It's not safe for you. And then she just opened the door and she was about to step outside. Babaji Maharaj came and pulled her inside. And the next second, there was lightning thunder that struck that place. So nice, so wonderful. How these people know all this? Even our Srila Prabhupada for that matter. At another place, deity of Radharani was about to fall and Prabhupada jumped and then he held the deity of Srimati Radharani. So these people, yes, they're externally seemingly old, but they're all strong. There was one man who was suffering from cholera and he got to know that he's a Siddhartha. If I go there and beg for his mercy, things will be good. He was just lying outside the kutir and he was moaning with pain and he was saying, better I die instead of this pain that is there in my stomach. And Babaji Maharaj is not saying anything. Whatever. For 3-4 days he was lying outside the kutir. No food, no water. So finally, after 3-4 days, Babaji Maharaj got one tulsi leaf and put it on his tongue and he ate that and he was all cured. He got up, he left the place. He went to his home. So you can imagine these personalities externally, it looked like a madman, but internally so absorbed and all the purity is there, and at the same time they're on a different platform. Be it mystical or be it spiritual, they're on a different platform altogether. When we hear these different pastimes, especially the appearance, talking to people, and sometimes when people would come and ask questions, especially sent by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati or his disciples, when they would come. So at that time, these disciples would give firewood or this and that to Babaji Maharaj and he would accept. And sometimes he would throw that in Ganga and shout at them and they would just scold and then go behind them, get lost from here, get lost from here. Now when we see all this, like even mad people do this. You might have seen some mad people holding some doll or whatever and all the time talking. So how do we distinguish between a person who is mad in this world, materially mad, and one who is transcendently mad behind Krishna? How do we make out that? And the litmus test for this is that the Siddhanta that is there will never be violated by these great souls. The Siddhanta will always be intact. But mad people, what they will do, they themselves will not know. But these great souls, in their speech, in their actions, the Siddhanta will always remain at the top. Since that was a time when new mantras were coming, there was a fashion of new mantras. So there was one popular mantra that was chanted all around from Upper Sampradaya. And there was one person who was standing outside the kutir and he was singing this Upper Sampradaya mantra. Now, if a mad person is there, he'll chant that also. But here, Babaji Maharaj said, looking at him, that name is not allowed here. That name is not allowed here. Out. They're very clear about what is Siddhanta, what is Tattva. They're very clear. There was one boatman who was singing Vaishnava Bhajan. He was rowing the boat and singing Vaishnava Bhajan. And he was near the kutir. He was singing, in English it is said, a sphere has entered my heart. It has neither killed me nor can I survive. A sphere has entered my heart. It has neither killed me, nor can I survive. So this particular line, it talks about separation from Krishna. That is what is the line. So that sphere is as painful as the separation from Krishna. Then Babaji Maharaj heard this. He said that you are singing but you don't know what it means. You are simply enjoying the song and the melody without any realization. And Babaji Maharaj said, but when we hear this song, our hearts are pierced. You don't know that? When you are singing this, my heart is breaking. That is so nice to note that these souls feeling separation from Krishna, some person is singing and their heart is breaking. They're telling also, stop singing this. One time, there was one, at that time again, there were many fake devotees, fake Vaishnavas. Pseudo-devotees is the word that is used. They would just start their own upper sampradaya or join some upper sampradaya or something like that. There was one person, this was after Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj discovered the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. So he started saying, one of the pseudo devotee or a dhongi sadhu, he said, I had got a dream yesterday night and Lord Chaitanya has revealed to me that birthplace of Lord Chaitanya is not there, it's here. Now this was heard by everyone. Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj heard. So at that time, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj spoke something. Just imagine that time when all these great souls are there together. So Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj gave his verdict and he said, dream cannot be a proof for the birthplace. And then he made a very strong point. He said, for whom holy places are manifested, they will not collect money for purpose of finding the holy place. The way Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj have discovered the place is correct and it's factual. So that is the birthplace. Now when Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj heard this from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he took a shovel. What do you call it as in Hindi? Shovel? Fauda. Jisse nikala jata hai, matti. He took that, he went to that place where that manifested a new birthplace. He went there, he took the shovel, he broke the entire fence around, saying, this cannot be the place. The verdict of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. A mad person will not do all this, following Guru Parampara. But look at these personalities. Siddhanta is followed. When he's offering bhoga, Tulsi is offered to the Lord. When he's hearing Apa Sampradaya name, some mantra, he is talking against that. When the songs of separation are heard, he is feeling that separation. When he is hearing from the Guru Parampara that what is bona fide, he is accepting as it is. So in this way we see that these people, they externally, they might be acting as mad, but the litmus test is there of Siddhanta and they will not violate the Siddhanta. So in this way, this great soul, Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, he lived on this planet. He roamed around different places and he performed his various different pastimes. And especially the pastime where he is speaking with his deities gives a lot of hope that yes, Lord is not just standing there in that metal form or in the wood form. Lord is actually present to hear us, and here is an example. That is Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj. And he had set a very high example of renunciation. He was not attached to anything. There would be people, they would come and they would glorify Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj. And when people would glorify Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, he would hardly hear any of them. He would ignore all of them. He was least affected or least bothered to hear. So in this way, when we are relishing something higher, the dirty things of this world, that is glorification, will not affect the person. Therefore, other great souls, like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, considers this Pujala Pratishtha as Shukarera Vishtha, stool of a pig. And he says, why are you eating stool of a pig? Just see the graphic example that our Acharyas are giving. And Raghunath Das Goswami, in his Mana Shiksha book, he writes, Pujala Pratishtha, anyone who is hankering for Pujala Pratishtha, he is taking bath in donkey urine. Imagine the scene. Therefore, these personalities are relishing something higher. They are the ones who can bestow us also with something higher in Krishna consciousness to relish. And they are our inspiration to continue practicing bhakti. They are the ones who are telling us, don't worry, continue practicing bhakti. One day you'll reach this position. You'll reach this destination. You'll reach the status of spiritual existence, which currently I am in. So very soon we have this disappearance day of Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, 8th of August. So we can surely offer prayers remembering him. There's only one photo of Babaji Maharaj that is available on internet. You can see that with wild eyes, with matted hair, matted beard, and only in Kopin, and ready to pounce on someone. That is the mood. But we can always beg and pray to these Vaishnavas that I have no renunciation, I have no attachment to Krishna. I have no renunciation from this world, I have no attachment to Krishna. But you have everything. You please bless me with the same. I also want to attain Krishna. I also want to relish Krishna consciousness the way you have relished. Please bless me with the same, so that I become a worthy disciple of my Guru in the parampara of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And this is so wonderful. Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj is a Gaudiya Vaishnava in the line of Narottam Das Thakur. So seeking his blessings, we would like to end his glorification. Thank you very much. Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj ki jai.